This video has been a long time coming. I have been waiting for this product to come out for a very long time now. I'm not even really sure exactly how long. It's been like years at this point. But we have a really cool upgrade for the Jeep from the guys at Baja Designs. I was so excited when I got this in. I couldn't wait to do the unboxing on video, so we'll go through all of this stuff, but I gotta show you guys. And here it is. The goods have finally arrived. For those of you that don't know, these are the LP6 DOT headlights for, well, really anything, but the JK specifically. So we have the LP6 DOT headlight JK kit, and here's everything that comes with it. We have a harness that's going to allow us to wire up the backlight. We have a package of springs and screws. We have the adapters, so we have 2 of those, and then 2 plug-and-play LP6 JK harnesses. So all of this is what's necessary to get rid of these crummy, cheap Amazon headlights. And quite frankly, they barely work anymore as it is. Now, there are a million videos on YouTube about how to install headlights on a JK, but I'm gonna walk you guys step by step on how to install these, and then I'm gonna live with them for a few months, and we'll follow up with a full review on my thoughts of them, so you can use this video as an instructional kind of how to do the install, but you're probably gonna have to come back to get my thoughts on the final product. But with all of that said, we're gonna get straight into it. I'm gonna unpackage everything, lay it all out nice and neat, and I believe the first step is actually going to be installing the bracket on the light itself. Of course, we're gonna have to pull the grill off of the Jeep as well. If you're new here, obviously this JK grill doesn't really look like a JK grill. This was one that I custom built a few years ago. It's not really holding together all that well anymore, but hey, it still works for now. So I'll go through all of those steps. Pulling the grill off, really, on mine's a little different than yours maybe, but it takes no time. So let's get into this. So packed in with the headlights is actually going to be a bag with a couple of Deutsch connectors and your hardware. The hardware we're going to use to actually mount the light itself to the bracket. So I'm going to go ahead now and just mount the light into the bracket. So the bracket installs on the light pretty simply. You're gonna have these tabs facing down, and then we'll actually tighten this up. I believe we're gonna want this straight on. We may need to adjust this at some point so that we can do the aiming, but nevertheless, this is a pretty simple bracket. There are a right and a left side to this, so we have 2 different brackets with this cutout down here on the bottom. I'm gonna pause myself right here. I actually have these brackets on completely upside down, so make sure that the cutout is on the top of the bracket. I double checked the instructions, and I believe I figured this out now. I did put it on wrong the first time, but you're gonna want this countersunk bolt actually on the top, because it's going to be on the top corner of where the headlight goes into. So this is going to be our driver's side headlight, and then this one will be the passenger side headlight. So now with both of the lights mounted to the bracket, we can pull the grill and the old headlights off of the Jeep and get ready to toss in these bad boys. And pulling off the grill on the Jeep is super simple. All we've got to do is pop the hood, and there's going to be a handful of clips across the top of that. We're going to pull those clips off, and then there's usually going to be some clips down here at the bottom of the grill that hold that in place. Mine is essentially held in place by the winch, so I don't have those clips there anymore. Once you have all the clips out, the whole grill will just come off. It's actually pretty simple from here, because we're going to remove not only the headlight bezel, but also this entire plastic piece that goes in here as well. So I'm going to use a T15 Torx bit to pull out this headlight bezel. Be careful, because once you get all of these off, this ring will come off, and then there's nothing else holding in the headlight. I'm doing this kind of one-handed so I can hold the camera, but I don't advise that you do this one-handed. And there you go. The ring comes off and the headlight comes forward. Now, this headlight has been in here for a number of years. It's just a cheap Amazon headlight, and I'm gonna go ahead and they're honestly probably gonna go in the trash. I don't even think they really work that well anymore. And here's the adapter for that headlight as well. And then somewhere buried down in here, I actually have the connector that we're going to use. That's the original factory connector. And now this plastic piece is going to have to come out as well. Now when you're removing this, you can actually use that same T15 Torx to pull the adjuster all the way out. And this is a little bit hard to capture on camera, but I'm just using a wrench to turn out these bottom two screws. And once you get it loose enough, you can kind of finish up by hand. There we go. That bracket is now out, and now we have an open socket for the new headlight. And I obviously still have to do the wiring, but just for visual purposes. Yeah, so this is going to be the driver's side. As you can see, that little cutout is there for the notch in the grill, and we'll end up putting our springs in here as well as the screws so that we can do the adjustments that it's going to need. Now for the install, there's two separate harnesses. One is going to be the actual headlight itself, and the other is going to be the backlight harness. I'm going to go ahead, as you guys can see, my headlight harness plug is here, so I can go ahead and just plug this guy in, and then we'll leave this end that goes into the back of the headlight for when the headlight gets bolted up. Now for the backup light, the harness comes with these two pigtails that are actually going to slide into the Deutsch connector here, and so we can pull out this pin and the new one will just pop right into that spot. Taking the cover off allows me to see as this slides up into the connector. Hopefully you guys can see this. I went ahead and pressed this up in here until it connected. Now it's clipped into place, and now we'll just close that back up. And right on time, my cameraman arrived, so you guys don't have to see me fumbling around anymore. Welcome back, Chris. All right, so I have the bolts in the place that they're gonna go. We're actually going to load a spring onto each one of these. I'm doing it now because there's not a lot of room once you get the light like in there. So we'll put the springs on. I'm going to go ahead and plug in our Deutsch connector, and then we're going to line everything up in those original holes, and we're going to use a 10 millimeter socket to get these bolts started. It's kind of a lot of moving parts going on here, but as soon as I get it going, it'll get a little easier. All right, and you're gonna put, I don't know, a little bit of tension on those springs just so that it's in there nice and firm. You'll still be adjusting your headlight from this top right screw here. So that's gonna be something that we'll make sure that we take care of when we go to aim them. But for now, I'm just gonna snug it down and make sure that the light is in place. And this this Allen head is actually a 3mm. Or Allen heads in millimeters? Anyways, it's a 3. That's the one you want.
It's gotta be millimeters, right?
It's gotta be.
It's like the time on the toaster oven being in minutes, which like shocked everyone.
That's
for
crazy.
Some reason.
I would have never known. All right, there we go. The light's in. And now we got to do the other side. The other side, the quicker version of this video is on my Instagram and TikTok. So that's, if you're bored already, go watch that one. But then come back to this one, like and subscribe, and see the end result. But yeah, anyways, let's do the other side. Both headlights are in. Everything looks super, super clean. I'm a big fan of this so far. So now we've got to run the backlight wiring harness. What I did was I connected it into the Deutsch connectors on both sides. It kind of comes across here. I'm gonna like clean all of this up. The other end of this comes with kind of this inline adapter here. There's more to the kit, but this is all I'm gonna need for my purpose, because the way that I wired the backlight on the LP9 is actually into the original turn signal wiring harness. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's another one of those piggybacks right there. And so we're going on the middle wire on this harness. I'm assuming it's the same middle wire on this harness. Now I can piggyback into that, and anytime I turn on the running lights on the Jeep, we'll have backlight here and backlight here. Both of them are amber, and it should look pretty cool. All right, both of them are in. So we have the headlights in, all the wiring's done. I'll show you guys what they look like here in a minute. But we gotta put the grill back on, and this job will be wrapped up. I think this is a pretty sick setup. Got the low beams on now. High beams. And still have to aim them, but it's a little bit too light outside for that now. So for now, we're done. There you go, boys. That is a wrap on the install. These things look incredible. I'm so happy with that. This was well worth the wait. I can't wait to actually see how they look at night. I'm sorry I don't have time to put that in this video. I wanted to make sure that I got this video up so that everyone knew the process of installing them. We'll do a follow-up on my actual thoughts on the lights besides how sick they look very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.